Hi, how you doing? Welcome back. As you can see, introduction is not necessary here, as we're here with the legendary Jim Kelly from Enter the Dragon, Black Belt Jones, and a whole bunch of other movies. And Jim, how you doing? It's great to meet you today.
Franklin, how are you?
Yeah, absolute pleasure.
Good,
and
thank you very much.
yeah, I really appreciate your time, and it's great to see you after all these years. And first thing I wanted to ask about was, of course, you saw John Saxon. He was here.
Yeah, it was great to see John. And that's my first time seeing John. Actually, I saw John in 1991, 1990. I was training down at Gracies Jiu-Jitsu, and I had just finished taking my lesson. And Hoyce told me that, hey, John's in the other room taking a private lesson. So I went in and said hello to John. That's the first time I saw John since Enter the Dragon. And that was in 1991 when I saw him.
So you guys didn't really kept in touch over the years? Just
No, I was so good to see. I was really glad to see him.
Right.
Yeah.
And speaking of Enter the Dragon, I was going to ask you about what it was like afterwards, when you made a string of films, some, Black Belt Jones very notably, and what have you been doing after that, before you did Chamber of Fear with LeBron James?
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to think what was my actual last film that I did before my, what you want to call it, a hiatus? Actually, I like to say this. I get offered 3 films a year, about 3 films per year, even today. But the scripts are so bad and my character is so bad, I refuse to do it. I'm very particular about the type of image I put on screen for young kids. And for young kids, I'm just very particular, so I don't do anything.
As a role model, basically.
As a role model, yes. So if I never do another film, I just said this in a big interview in LA Times about 3 weeks ago. If I never do another film, it's okay with me because I'm very happy with what I have done. So if someone comes along with a nice script, very positive script, a good character, I will do it. If not, it's okay.
Okay. So that sounds very reasonable as far as, career-wise. But also, another thing I was going to ask you was about tennis. I know that I've heard that you've been in professional tennis and other things like that, and tell us about that.
Yeah, tennis is a passion of mine. I started playing tennis in 1975. When I was over in the Canary Islands, I was shooting a film called Take the Hard Ride. And I was over there, had plenty of time on my hands, and some of the cast members were playing tennis. So they asked me, hey, Jim, come out and play some tennis with us. I said, well, I don't know how to play this game. I've never played it before. So, oh, come on, we'll show you a few things. So I went out there, started playing tennis with them, and I got hooked. So I started to like the game. And when I got back to the United States, I would take tennis lessons. I started taking tennis lessons, and I just started playing tournaments, and I just was hooked on the sport. And I did pretty good. I'm not playing too many tournaments right now, but I won a lot of championships, a lot of senior championships, age division championships, 35s, 40s, 45s. Well, I'm going to tell my age pretty soon, so I better stop. I'll tell you my age for long here. Yeah, I love tennis. It's a passion of mine, and I own a tennis club.
Oh, excellent.
I own a tennis club down in San Diego, and
yes.
That's one of my businesses that I do right now, and I'm also involved in real estate.
Okay. So, and what about martial arts? Where does martial arts fit into the whole picture?
Right now, I'm training lightly. I'm not training like I used to train when I was fighting. I was very intense then. But I train just to stay in shape, stay in touch, because I never know when that script might come along. So when it comes, sometimes it comes before, maybe 2 weeks before, and you gotta be ready to go. So I stay in touch with it. I work out in grappling, I work out in kicking and punching, and a little boxing.
Now, you mentioned about the Gracies and everything. I mean, so obviously you've worked on the ground game as well.
Yes, I worked on my ground game with Hoyce, Gracie, Hickson Gracie, Hoyler Gracie, with the Gracie family. So I started out with Hoyce, and I got hooked on that too. I really do enjoy grappling and jiu-jitsu. I was world champion in kicking and punching in karate. So one day I said, I better learn some grappling. So I went with the guys who I thought were the very best at jiu-jitsu, and that's the Gracie family.
That's right.
So I love it.
Right. Because in the meantime, you're too busy looking good, right?
Yeah. Trying to stay on top of everything.
Exactly. Now, on that note, speaking of legendary martial artists, of course, you work with the legendary Bruce Lee. Everybody knows that.
Yes.
And now, just leading into that, what was your experience with Bruce Lee, and how was everything with the Dragon?
Where do I start? I don't think we have time
No.
to talk about Bruce Lee. But anyway,
Like
yeah.
his skills. You mentioned about his skills.
Yeah, his skills, yeah. Well, first of all, I have the utmost respect for Bruce Lee. I'm glad you asked me that too, because I want to clear up something. I'm on that internet, so I read some of these comments that people have on the internet about Bruce Lee and myself. And about a month ago, I read on there, this guy said that I was back in Cincinnati, Ohio, a few years ago, promoting one of my movies. And I said, when I was being interviewed on stage, that I would kick Bruce Lee's ass. I can't believe that. I couldn't believe that. This guy said the Jim said he would kick Bruce Lee's ass, and then he got ran out of Cincinnati, Ohio. We ran him out of Cincinnati, Ohio. I can't believe it. First of all, I have the utmost respect for Bruce Lee, and I don't think anybody during Bruce Lee's time and during his era, before he died, I don't think anybody could kick Bruce Lee's ass. Not only me, nobody else. I think Bruce Lee was the greatest martial artist that ever lived. The guy was absolutely incredible. The greatest martial artist that ever lived, as far as I'm concerned.
And when you, obviously there's a lot of pictures with you sparring or just promotional shots with him and working out. What was that like? It must have been an incredible experience to see him in action.
Yeah, it was one incredible experience for me to have the opportunity to work with him on the set. I've worked with some incredible personalities. I've worked with some great athletes, and Bruce was one of them. Probably treasure working with Bruce more than anyone else I ever worked with, because obviously we're martial artists. Right. And I learned so much from working with Bruce. One thing I regret in my life is that I never had the opportunity to train a long time with Bruce, spend a lot of time with him and take private lessons with him. But I did have the opportunity to work with him a little bit. And
Jeet Kune Do?
In his system, yes, in his system. And he was checking my style out. As a matter of fact, Bruce saw me throw my backhand. And I've never told him about this before publicly. But when we were working out a little bit together, he said, "Jim, who taught you that backhand? You have the fastest jab or backhand or back knuckle strike." Some people call it back knuckle. Mm-hmm. Some people call it front hand strike. Some people can call it a jab. But Bruce said, "I've never seen anyone throw the back knuckle, the front fist as fast as you. Who taught you that?" And I said, actually, Gordon Dover Sola from Okinawa Tay. And I found out later, Bruce used to take private lessons from Gordon Dover Sola from Okinawa Tay. And I didn't know this. So in one sense, Bruce was like, he knew how many people could teach Jim throw that backhand, the back fist that fast. So he had an idea. It must be somebody like Gordon Dover Sola.
Wow.
So, and also, I could share some things about Bruce, but maybe I better save him for my book.
Okay. And speaking of the book, so